Elizabeth, thank you for coming
Hi.
back this week.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Yes. All right. Did you come to the table this week with anything to talk about?
I did not come with anything in specific, and I think it's because I actually enjoy seeing where we go.
Okay.
Because there's so many areas that I've worked on in my life and I continue to. I say that in past tense. It needs to be that I continue to work on. So I enjoy just seeing where we're gonna go. What
Yeah.
rabbit hole are we gonna go down? Or what's gonna come to me? Like, in the last session,
I want to say to anybody in our audience watching this video that it's great if you come to the table with something, if you're triggered throughout the week. And what I mean by triggered, meaning if your emotions were dysregulated or you felt out of control in any way emotionally, that it's good to hold on to that memory or that situation to bring to your session to break it down. If you don't have anything to work on, that's great too, because then I could come to the table with some questions. So thank you for sharing that, Liz. All right. You said last week, we're going to start off with last week. In our session, you did get excited with the breakthrough.
there was a connection there that I was able to recognize. And so once the connection's made, then you can start working on that. And of course, as usual, like the universe is, it gets shown to me at work.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I have a lot of personalities I have to mentor to and take care of. And there are certain personalities that I struggle with. And this week, I was able to stop and reflect on why this personality is trigger me. Like I want to like cuss and like scream and get away from them. It just makes me uncomfortable. So this week, because of last week, I was able to apply that to this particular personality. And at the very end, there was a shift. There was a shift in the dynamics, and both me and this person are aware of the personality conflict. We've had conversations about it. And when you're in the supervisor role and they're in the subordinate role, I want to be very cognizant of how I'm coming across or how I am asking or delegating or how is my tone coming across? Is my tone come across nasty and hateful? Or am I trying to be more aware of how that tone is coming across? Because then that too triggers whatever their issue is with my personality. And then it becomes like, two ends of a battery button head. So this week it was quite interesting because I was able to recognize where my conflict is. So once I took that away from the situation, the whole dynamic shifted just a little bit. Like there was less friction when asking this person to do something or checking over their work because they are new. They are very new. They are green in the field that I'm in. There was just a little bit of give. And so I can reflect on that and understand that that's because of the work that I'm doing within myself and recognizing at that moment when these issues are happening.
Oh, I love that.
That's where I get to work at. That's where I get to do my work. If I can put aside, oh, they're just pissing me off.
Yeah. Well, I love that. So there's a connection with you and yourself, your emotions, and recognizing the trigger. A lot of times, people are just reactive. They're not even aware that
Right.
they're losing control of their emotions. They think it's the other person, but because you are doing the work and connecting with yourself and understanding, getting to know the emotions in your body, you're able to step away from it a little bit and have control. And so, from the work or the session last week and your awareness, and when you were confronted with this same personality again, what I hear you saying is you were able to stay in it a little bit longer with more control
Yes.
and a little bit more understanding.
Yes. I just thought about something too.
Okay.
I when you said when you stated that I'm uncomfortable because people are not being authentic, it just popped in my head like, well, that's a little rude. Who are you to say that they're not being authentic?
Oh, I love that. Okay, what did that thought make you feel?
It's a little arrogant. Because
And what
really, do I know if they're authentic or not?
true?
Maybe they are being authentic and I was labeling it something else
I love that.
to justify their behavior.
Okay, let me ask you this. What if you are a arrogant little girl? How does that make you feel to have that thought?
Well, I used to be offended when I hear that. Like if someone would call me a liar, that would make me so upset because I've always been very truthful. So when someone would call me a liar, it would just, I would get so angry. So hearing this now, it's kind of like, oh, look at you being a little judgmental.
Oh my.
Starting to feel a little bit more playful in this area because I'm aware, because once you know, you can't unknow something. So I'm not offended. I'm not like, oh, you idiot, or, you know, imperfected, not perfect.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see like I'm starting to be more playful in this area, in this sandbox,
Yeah.
as we like to call it.
I love that. I love how you were able to connect this current feeling of judging someone else with a place in time where you felt judged by someone else and they were wrong. I love how you made that connection. And what's really, really cool, again, on the you're perfect and can't do it wrong. So, what if you were arrogant in that moment? Is that okay? Is it okay for the little girl, Elizabeth, to not always get it right?
It feels good. Like it feels good to not love me because I have these thoughts or I react these ways or I make assumptions. Like that
Love it.
doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me imperfect. It makes me
Love
human.
I love that. And I want to say that I loved your description of playful. I have found throughout coaching these past several years that the more freedom you get from these layers, these blocks, these triggers that have control of you, that the more you get freed of them, the more playful you become. So there's this little kid inside of us that wants to play, right? And
Mhm.
there's a little kid inside of us that's fighting the world that we're just little kids in these grown-up bodies. And once we release all that fighting, that need to protect those survival mechanisms, then life can become very playful, even in the tough stuff. I was talking to,
Right.
actually, whenever somebody asks me, like, how you're doing, I'm authentic and very honest as well. And I'm like, well, I'm going through a really tough time right now. Like, I'm getting my butt kicked with a lot of insecurity. I said, but this is great because I get to see this is the little girl that's feeling totally insecure. So when you step back a little bit and I see the little girl that's just feeling insecure, when I'm not judging her because she's perfect in her insecurity, and I look at her, I'm saying, what's she insecure about? Oh, she's insecure because she's trying something new and she just feels really bad at it. And then as I just
Right.
look at her with love, instead of all this judgment, bad, good, right, wrong, blah, 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 you should be better or less than, or you're more like, because she's perfect, like just watching her do her, then somewhere in that space I could become more playful with the insecurity. It's like, oh, okay, well, it's just going to take some time. So, what do you want to do next? And then it becomes more playful. Just like you said with the girl at work, it becomes more playful to be against, this other personality that you have conflict with. I imagine when there's conflict, and I tell my clients this, imagine that other person is just a little kid with one of those foam swords, and you've got a sword, and you're like, hiya, hiya, hiya. Just that's what we're doing. That's just what we're doing. And so if we, because we do it too, we're the enemy in someone else's story. You can't be
Right.
you can't be the perfect, princess or unicorn in everyone's story. That's just not going to happen. So I love that
Right.
you said that playfulness.
I want to go somewhere. So when I came to you, what, however many years ago, thanks to a very special person in my life who referred you, I couldn't have these conversations with you. Like, I was crying, I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating. Oh, it was a mess. I would get caught in whatever was the thing going on, right? So, in my life personally, alcoholism is an issue, addiction, and then leading into discovering my codependency, which then led to how we got here, right? So, my childhood, my previous marriage, and I could not have had these conversations with you back then, or I did. They were just very painful. So I want to thank you because what this journey has allowed for me is to go to the places nobody wants to go to.
Mm,
Like like right now, I'm crying for no reason. Out of joy probably, but
I love that.
not being able to talk about abandonment or lack of, for me personally, my words, my triggers, my words, or not being seen, not being heard, not being validated, not being loved enough. And this journey, which has been a long one, has brought me to where I am today. And I could not be more thankful.
Mm,
I couldn't, because I didn't know these things were in me. I did not know that I had all this love, and I didn't love other people. I was very angry, very judgmental. And so through this journey, it has allowed this release of all this stuff because I don't need those things anymore.
mm.
And I have learned to love Elizabeth with all her brokenness, my smoking. I tell people I burn more calories thinking about the gym than going to the gym. I have lots of ideas. I execute little. But when I do get on something, I want to perfect whatever it is. And this is one of those things. I want to perfect myself through this journey. So this has been a thank you to Diane. And I've
Mm,
told you before, I think you are a walking example of your own coaching, which is what is mentored me. So I want people to know that coaching is so different because it allows us, if you're ready or not ready, because I surely was not ready, if you're ready to go to those dark places, then it allows you to heal and start enjoying life. And even when you're in those uncomfortable situations, I've had to be around my family with my issues with one of my siblings. So, and that is still very difficult. That's a very difficult situation. And there's a lot of things going on there, but it's allowed me to show up as me and not
mm.
worry about what other people think of me. Like, I'm here to love you and listen to you and hear you and enjoy your presence. And I'm not worried about it anymore. Can have those conversations. It's improved my relationship with my spouse. I'm just in a very gratitude state of mind lately.
I love that. Thank you for the sweet, 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 sweet words. Thank you for showing up as you, and thank you for trusting me as a coach to go with you into these deep, dark places. I tell all my clients, you're letting me into your world, your psyche, your pain. That's a huge gift for me as a coach to be able
Mhm.
to go into such vulnerable, dark, hard places with people that they would trust me with your heart. That takes so much courage. So, I mean, you had the courage, and hopefully, I helped provide that safe space for you to continue having the courage. And then comes the healing, which we all get. And thank you for saying a walking example. I do my own work.
And it's contagious. Like, when I've seen you interact in groups, and like I could just sit there like a little kid and just listen. Like, I just want to take it all
Thanks.
in. And that love that you show everybody, that very childlike, playful love, I am in awe of, and I want to emanate that. That's what I strive to do. I want to be more like that. I don't want to be known as Liz, the condescending, always got something negative to say, very crass, short, dismissive. I've been working really hard on on maturing and letting people see the real me,
Mm.
not the bitter,
Mm.
crass, condescending, dismissive Liz. Because that's a defense mechanism.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's your defense mechanism. And why are people so afraid to be their authentic self? Because of judgment, of rejection, abandonment, all that, which really might happen. People might
Right.
reject you, but it's you that reject you first. If people can reject
Right.
you, and as long as you don't reject yourself, you could be okay.
I was the one putting it out there for people to do it. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me kind of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to push you away first.
yeah,
You're not going to get that close.
yeah,
I'm not going to give you the power to hurt me
yeah, yeah.
in
And
any
we,
capacity, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically.
yeah,
Ooh,
and
light bulb.
we think it's other people. We think it's
Yeah,
other
it's
people, but
me.
we truly are projecting what's inside of us. The reason so many of us are inauthentic is we play roles. We put on masks so that we will get a certain reaction from people that we want, or so that they won't react a certain way.
Right,
Right?
right,
So we do that to protect our world so we won't feel something. And so we stifle that authenticity because we're uncertain of what's going to happen. We're uncertain if people are going to like us or not. And so when we live our lives with those masks, that's how we cover up that authenticity. And the way to let that part of ourselves come out is in our own love. It's in accepting our own authenticity, accepting ourselves and every part of ourselves. Since we're going to Thanksgiving, I figured we could dive in a little bit there. You said this is the first Thanksgiving that you're really looking forward to?
it's like this big holiday celebration. And we have a week where we go out in the desert and we dance and sing music and I cook and we go to the baseball field. There's like 7 of us, so there's like a small baseball team, and we go out there and we let the littlest one hit baseballs all day long. And in the past, I've had a lot of anxiety about because my husband's alcoholic. But oh my God, I've been on like on edge. Anybody that's been in an alcoholic relationship knows this. It's oh my God, what's gonna go wrong? What are they gonna do? I gotta clean up a mess. What are they gonna say? Babysitting, like anyways. So my husband has pretty much been sober for almost a year. And
Wow.
so it's this year for his 50th birthday. So when they all came out this year for his 50th birthday, he did it sober. And so it was so much fun. And then so they're coming back out and they're all excited. They're always all excited about coming out. But now I'm looking forward to making those breakfasts and sitting down and having Christmas with everybody and taking them out in the desert and cooking for them and watching mom and pops dance to their music from the 50s and 60s and like that's the family connection that I love and I'm starting to hold on to them and really appreciate them. So this year my plan is to kind of really live in the moment and enjoy everybody and not I don't think I'm going to have the frustration that I normally have. Like, oh my God, what is this person going to say? What is this person going to do? Do I have enough of this? Do I have enough of I normally, those thoughts are going through my mind as a host. But this year, I'm really going to like sit in it and enjoy the time and live in the moment while they're all here and not stress out.
And where did this energy come from?
I think it's a evolution, right? This is evolution for me, an involvement. I think it's just coming from recognizing that I love myself and I'm a
Mm.
beautiful person. And that's what I want people to see. And just taking the expectations away goes back to my unconditional love. Like I said, I want to unconditionally love people. And that includes my coworkers. And the beautiful thing that I've been seeing with that is it comes back to you. The love that I am projecting out, not only is it coming back to me, but it's coming back tenfold. Like I feel like I've been showered with love this year, like smothered in it. And so I know that that comes from the work that I'm doing with myself and loving myself and all my imperfections and broken parts. Um, I think the hard part is when you're in those moments, when those things trigger you. Sometimes you don't see it at that moment that it's happening, so you can't stop it, right? You can't stop that reactivity in that moment because you're not paying attention. Oh, they just triggered me. Why did they trigger me? How do I adjust here? So I think it's all coming from just being more present and recognizing those moments and correcting it or adjusting it or modifying it or staying in it if I want to. Um, and then the reward that comes from that is in return, I get showered with love and respect and warmth is a good word.
I love
Like
that.
I don't feel like I have a lot of negative Nancy's around me right now. Like I feel like I have so many positive people in my life.
I love that. And you know that once you love yourself more and you feel that love because you're going to feel it. They say love yourself more, but you can't mantra your way to it. Your heart has to be emptied of some of the gunk in order to make
Right.
room for the love to come in. It's
Right.
just how the ratio goes, right? You can't pretend love. I mean, you can pretend love, but people feel the difference. It's a vibration. So let me ask you this. Do you think that you can give more love than you have inside of yourself?
No.
Okay, I love that. Yeah. Great.
But
Yes.
I've learned that through this process.
Yeah.
Because before Elizabeth was giving, and there was nothing coming back. I was very, very empty because I didn't even know what self care was. I didn't know what self love was. I didn't even know how to fill the cup up. I didn't know to recognize when the cup was empty.
Yes.
um, absolutely, you can't give out more than what you're giving to yourself.
Yes, and I don't even think you knew that. What you came to me with, which was so beautiful, was you knew the intention you wanted was to unconditionally love other people, but you didn't understand what the gap was in between that, in between the way you were living and the way you wanted to live. And what we did is we just pulled out the behavior patterns and what your body was doing in reaction to them. So, like, for example, when you were over giving what you called love, a lot of times people think that when they're giving more love, they're sacrificing for their family or sacrificing for the relationship. Not really. Nope. That's not what people are doing. You're totally doing that for yourself. You're giving more love, hoping to get something back. If you're just giving it without needing anything back, that's unconditional love. But when you
Right.
start giving more love and you feel empty and then you become resentful and you feel abandoned, you start feeling these negative feelings, those are indicators that this is more about you trying to give some kind of love in order for a return. And that's worth looking at when we unravel the parts of our being that are reactive to the overgiving of love, we started to break down what was actually going on inside of you. And then when you did, you detached from needing to give that love to somebody else in order to receive it and started giving it to yourself. When you started giving it to yourself, you were still giving love in other areas, but not to the same degree. Would you agree with that? That's the pattern I've seen with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then from that, as you started, then instead of relying on other people to fill that cup of love, you gave it to yourself. You put the attention on you. And then that's where this relationship started to grow. And as your internal relationship started to grow, it allowed you to give more love unconditionally.
Mhm.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you think that that had an effect on your relationship with your husband?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
How do we relate to other people when we have that view? Totally different.
Yeah, I know for a fact with me there are multiple conversations with you when you talk about resentment where I would get so angry that again, oh, they're accepted the way that they are. You need to fix you. And that would just trigger me to no end because I wasn't able to figure out the connection that you were trying to say to me. I could not grasp that concept. I have to do the work. I'm the one that needs to fix myself. And that was a cycle I was in for a very, very long time. And it wasn't just my spouse, it was my children, family, friends. Like, again, it goes back to I'm not being seen,
I
right?
love
We
this.
accept
Yeah.
them. We accept them for the way that they are and their alcoholism and all their fuck ups and this person who can't show up to work or is always borrowing money from the family or is lying about you to everybody. Oh, because that's just them. So that's okay. But who's there to defend me? Which then led back to an epiphany of my childhood. No one was ever there to protect Elizabeth. And so I was stuck in this cycle. And sometimes I still go there. I still go to that place where it's like, why do they get to do that? But the expectations for me are higher.
Hmm.
And then that's when I get resentful and bitter and just angry. Like life is not fair. I think, yeah, it's been beautiful to go from that person to this person. And I can't wait to see the person 5 years from now.
I feel like you tapped into something that I think is really important that many people can relate to. Is a lot of times, yes, when we see someone that's functioning in a way that it isn't their highest and best, maybe, and it is affecting us, but yet we are told that we have to do the work. I can see where a lot of people would feel resentful. Like, wait a minute, they're the ones hurting me. If I'm with someone that's hurting me, the work here for me is, why am I with someone that's hurting me? It's not
Right.
why do they have to change? It's why am I continuing to stay in this? It doesn't mean that you have to leave, but asking the question, what am I getting out of this that's making me stay in it? Why am I choosing this over and over again? Why am I here? Whether it's the job, whether it's the relationship, whether it's the family, so I'll use an example. Let's say we have a parent that is just we have a toxic relationship with, but we feel like we need to go see them every year and every holiday, but we think they should behave when it's actually all about us because, well, why am I going to see them every year? What value in me believes that I'm obligated to go see them? It's a choice we're
You're
making,
afraid of you're afraid of the judgment if you don't.
right? And there's the work. See, that's the gift. All of us make a choice. If we are in relationships where maybe people are displaying toxic behavior, it really is all about us. It's hurting me more than it's helping me. But once you understand that it is about you, you take back your power for the next choice instead of getting lost in the delusional cycle of the world has to change in order for me to be happy, safe, loved.
And I was taking ownership of that for years. And I
Yes.
think that's where the codependency issue is, right? You take ownership for other people's failures, problems, or whatever. And then that's another burden that you put in that cup.
Yeah.
And then you're angry at the world. I thought that's what I was supposed to do
Yeah. I love
because I
it.
didn't know any better. I didn't
Right.
know. I think growing up in a traumatic, broken, when you have all this trauma from your childhood and you grow up and you become an adult and you start having adult relationships that you were never shown how to have as a child, you were never shown that unconditional love or how to have healthy relationships. Now you're an adult, then you throw on being a mom and a career and a spouse, and you're just, I know in my 20s, I was angry and lost and broken, and you just don't know how to navigate it. And then
Yeah.
in my 30s, I felt like, oh, I can. When I came to you, I was like, yeah, I'm good, but I was so not good. And I think a different part of my brain opened up, or I opened it up, in recognizing I have the power to change those neurological pathways to not live in a constant state of anger and turmoil and fear and sadness.
I love that. Let me throw this thought out at you and tell me what you think of this. How about without even needing to change yourself? How about just going on the path of releasing what's blocking the love, the joy, the happiness, the playfulness that's already inside? Yeah.
Sometimes we want to hold on to it to
Yeah.
have a reason to be mad
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
because you're angry, you're hurt, or sometimes you want to continue the cycle of pain. You don't feel like you deserve to be loved or to love or to be without pain.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And you know what? That's okay too. That's okay too, because if a person's not ready, if they're not safe enough in their own body, in their own love, in this world, they're not. They shouldn't step out of it quicker because the body response, the nervous system response is going to go crazy. To step out in something that we don't feel safe in, it's just like when you were around that girl at work, your immediate response was to run. That's what you wanted to
Right.
do. You wanted to run because you didn't feel safe. So when someone has so much insecurity that they don't feel like they deserve love and they act out in behaviors to keep that world small, that's exactly good and perfect for them right then. It's their journey.
I lived in that space for years. I just didn't recognize, I didn't
Yeah.
understand that that's what I was doing.
Yeah, but something inside of you led you on the path to set yourself free. And now look at you. And you have the power the whole time inside. It's in you. It's just about uncovering it.
Right.
Everything we need for this life is inside of this perfect body, this perfect biosystem. When we stop judging it and instead start looking at our lives, our behaviors, our actions with curiosity, then we're going to see there's a whole gold mine in here. A whole gold mine instead of like a bunch of coal that people are supposed to dig through and fix. Oh, we got to make you pretty. We got to change you because you is just too loud, or you is too quiet, or you is not ambitious enough, or you is too much of this or not enough of that. And instead, going on that curious adventure of who you are inside to then find the motivation because it's there. It's there, and it's just asking for you to discover it.
And that's where I'm at. I'm finding joy in recognizing and paying attention when these things are put in front of me.
Okay, so if I were to give an assignment to you and anyone in the audience that's watching and interested in doing this, for Thanksgiving week, I would love for you to write a gratitude list of all the things about yourself that you're thankful for. Thank you for
Mm.
my authenticity. Thank you for my pursuit of my highest and best. Thank you for my desire to unconditionally love. Thank you for my beautiful blue eyes. Thank you for who I am in this world, the purpose I have. Thank you for just take a few minutes to write at least 5 things that you really love and appreciate yourself. And if you want to take this assignment further, which you can or can't, it's totally up to you, dig a little deeper and see why you like these things about yourself. Why do you like that you're so authentic? Why do I love my desire for unconditional love? And add that to the list for Thanksgiving. And just from our topic, I can't wait for a future session when Christmas comes around or other religious holidays that are out there. I love to talk about living your next chapter as Candyland and making your Christmas list. Like, what do you want next? I love it. I love it. Well, listen, thank you so much once again